We welcome you to Primetime Racing. We're waiting to see the world's best sim racers. In the midst for the Apex Energy Summer Throwback Series Championship, these drivers must visit the Lady in Black. Welcome to Darlington Raceway for the Evan Pienta Designs Southern 200. It's going to be a hot and slick one today, 88 degrees the current temperature. The top four in points are only separated by 7 markers. Braxton DeWeese leads the way, but Sam Oliver, last week's winner, Scotty Sobczak, and Johnny Rapp are ready to capitalize in case the others make a mistake. But Tony Hilbrand's Darlington doesn't discriminate. There's a chance the track that's too tough to tame could reach out and bite any of these drivers.
Indeed, especially with these cars where the handling's not the greatest, and as we've been seeing during practice here before we went live, it's a really hot, slick track, so cars are slipping and sliding on top of it. Got quite a few cars hitting the wall, bouncing off it. We're going to see quite a few Darlington stripes out there, and tire management is going to be a big key out there tonight.
It's hard to say who is going to hit the wall, but surely Darlington will grab a couple of these drivers today. Right now, as we take a look at our top speeds in practice, Scotty Sobczak leads the way, 31.76, followed by Braxton DeWeese at 31.78. So clearly, from what we're seeing from these speeds, the drivers that have been performing the best all season are the favorites to win tonight.
Well, yeah, I would say they've got the best chances, in my opinion. But they do also have the hot lap speed. We will see if they can carry that over to long runs as well, because unfortunately with iRacing you can't track like 10 or 20 lap averages. So we'll have to find out with everybody else here as the race starts. But yeah, again, Sobczak is running fast as always. Rapp is up there. He's probably going to try to stay up front tonight as well. He's the furthest behind in that 7-point gap in 4th place. But again, 7 points separating the top 4 is not a huge gap. So this is anybody's ball game for the last 2 weeks here of the season.
And Aaron Smith II is in the field today. In the races that he has been in, he has been a threat to win in each one. So could Aaron Smith II provide the spoiler tonight, Tony?
Well, I have not seen him join, and he's not on my board, but if he is, as you said, then that will probably be my pick to win tonight, because he's usually the favorite whenever he shows up, and this is his hometown track. So he's definitely going to put on a show tonight if he doesn't get wrecked, but that can be said about a handful of drivers out there.
I guess we'll find out, Tony. I'm seeing his name on the screen. However, I also noticed that he hasn't joined the server yet. So we'll see if Aaron Smith II will be a late join. But right now, it looks like Scotty Sobczak and Braxton DeWeese will have the honor of being the top 2 in practice, as we're about 15 seconds away from the start of qualifying.
And yes, we will see if Aaron can join before qualifying is over. We will take a quick moment here to bring you the national anthem, and we will be back with you with qualifying underway, and we'll see who takes that top spot. Catch you guys in a minute or two.
And welcome back to the Evan Pienta Design Southern 200 from Darlington Raceway. Qualifying is underway. Brandon Waldrop was the first driver to complete a lap, but right now he is not first on the board. That honor belongs to our points leader, Braxton Deweese, with a 31.82. He is currently the pole sitter. Al Corey at 32.04. So clearly, Tony, Braxton looks like he's at least really fast on the short run, in completing 1 or 2 lap bursts. But right now, Braxton Deweese looks pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's been showing that he's had hot lap speeds all season, but he's been able to back up for the that speed for the long runs most races as well. He tends to have some unfortunate issues, whether his own doing or getting caught up in other people's situations. And I am sorry about the. I don't know if the stream's lagging on your guys' end. I know I'm getting a little bit of stuttering on my end. Hopefully that's just my end and not on the stream itself. So I don't know what I can do to fix it if it is on the stream. Hopefully it'll buffer out and you guys can enjoy the show. But it looks like Scotty Sobczak finishing his Q time is up to second on the board.
And around goes Ben Keese, and he's in the wall, and that will end his qualifying run. He is currently scored in the 12th spot. But speaking of Ben Keese, he does have a new sponsor for this race, Tony. Strickland Propane.
Yeah, he's got a nice paint scheme out there. There's a few guys out there running special paint schemes tonight, as we can see. The 11 of Jeff Taylor is running a different paint scheme tonight as well. I know there's a couple more cars out there that hopefully we can catch throughout the race as they run their run tonight. And looks like Ellis Thomas is going out for his lap. He does have a lap in, so I don't know. He might just be trying to get a little more practice in, like exiting pit road or something right now. Everyone seems to have a time except for Eric Kulaga, Chase Berry, Patrick Colby, and Paul Thomas, who I believe are going to decide to not take a time here tonight.
It looks like Ellis Thomas got in the wall on his second lap, so unfortunately, when you hit the wall in iRacing during qualifying, it doesn't matter if your lap ends up being faster. It negates your lap, so you get pretty much a score of 0, and you lose your chance to complete that lap. So that's unfortunate for Ellis Thomas, but thankfully this is a 147 lap race, so a long way to go, and hopefully the driver of the number 8 Apex Energy Ford and move through the field tonight.
Yeah, I think so he's just out here trying to get a few extra laps of practice. It looks like as we have 23 seconds left before qualifying is over.
And Aaron Smith II's name is on the board, but it doesn't appear he has joined the server. Has he or has he not, Tony?
He's not showing up on my end, but he will hopefully get in before the grid. Otherwise, he'll have to start in the pits. But if he doesn't, we have 16 people in the server if Aaron does not show up here.
And with that said, Braxton Deweese, our points leader, is also our pole sitter for tonight's Evan Pienta Designs Southern 200. So let's go through the starting lineup. Obviously, Braxton Deweese. Starting from the pole, Scotty Sobczak. Starting in second. In third, we have Al Corey. In fourth, we have Johnny Rapp. Sam Oliver, last week's winner, in fifth. Matt Sheriff in sixth. James Suggs in seventh. And rounding out the rest of the top 10, we have Ellis Thomas, Jeff Taylor, and James Ledford, who is also amongst this top 4 points battle.
Yeah, he's actually fifth in points, 16 points behind the leader. 11th will be the 50 of Brandon Waldrop. The 85 of Ben Keese will be starting 12th. The Patrick Colby will be rolling off 13th. Chase Berry will be 14th. The grid got a little messed up because of race control. And then Paul Thomas will be rounding out the field. That is your lineup here for the Evan Pienta Designs 200 tonight. As we wait for the everyone to grid. As you can see, there's a couple of people who have not joined the grid yet. They might be holding up so that Aaron can get some time to join if that is the case. Otherwise, we got about 30 seconds left here.
Are we aware of any issues that he's having with his internet? Is anyone communicating?
I don't know. I have no knowledge on that. But it looks like your leader just grid. Yeah, everyone is now grid. So we are gonna roll off here momentarily. But yes, we do have 147 laps here tonight for 200 miles. The 200 in the Evan Pienta Designs Southern 200. They have 4 sets of tires, 3 of which are in the pits, and a fuel run will be 70 to 75 laps. So, they can make it a one stop for fuel, but they are definitely going to want tires throughout the race, obviously. So, if it stays green, we'll see if anybody has a unique strategy. But I believe we'll probably have a couple of cautions, and we'll see how that plays out for everybody here tonight. What are you expected to see out there tonight as we are coming through turn 2 before we take the green flag?
I'm expecting to see a couple Darlington stripes early in the run. However, I believe we are going to see a lot of long green flag runs. At least I hope that's the case. Obviously, we don't want to see a ton of cautions, but Darlington provides a unique look. You know, we're going to see a lot of green flag racing, and perhaps some accidents early in the race, Tony. And obviously, tire management is another factor, and that's the key to winning. And with that said, we're about to go green for 200 miles here at Darlington Raceway. 147 laps. Braxton DeWeese, our points leader, leading the field to the green flag. 16 cars, and we're underway. Green flag.
And Scott Sobczak gets a nice jump. Oh, we got someone in the wall back there. He looks like the 66 of Eric Kalaga might have spun his tires on the start there and got into the wall. The leaders fall into single file here as they make it through 1 and 2. We stay green, no caution.
And coming off turn 4 for the first time today, Braxton DeWeese, our points leader, will lead the first lap, followed by Scotty Sobczak, Johnny Rapp, Al Corey, and Sam Oliver.
It looks like the whole field is single filed out here after that incident in lap 1. I'm pretty sure everyone's going to try to take it as easy as possible so that they can last as long as they can. As you can see, Ellis Thomas get a little loose coming out of turn 2 there. Almost got to the wall, but was able to keep it off. And Scott Sobczak takes the lead.
Scott Sobczak takes the lead going into turn 3, and we have our first lead change of the race.
And that's definitely something Scott wanted. He's got some bonus points now for leading a lap. So DeWeese and Sobczak both have bonus points for leading tonight. Johnny Rapp, also in that points battle, is still riding in 3rd, and I'm sure he's going to want to try to take the lead as soon as possible as well. But the top 3 have broken away from the rest of the field here so far on lap 3.
And Patrick Colby is also on the move. He just made a move around Ben Keats for the 11th spot. And the number 5 of Chase Berry has also gotten around number 85.
Yeah.
And we have a battle on the racetrack, and between Ellis Thomas and Matt Sheriff into turn 1. Let's see who's going to give. And Matt Sheriff is the one that gave. He moved to the right and checked up a little bit. But now he's under attack by James Suggs. They continue to battle down the backstretch.
Suggs backs out because he doesn't want to go side by side into turn 3, which is the tighter corner 3 and 4. Not a lot of room to battle side by side. So he cedes the position back to Sheriff there. Up front, though, looks like Scotty Sobczak is starting to pull away a little bit over Braxton DeWeese and Johnny Rapp. We'll see if this is just the speed Sobczak has tonight, or if he's pushing a little harder, and if his tires are going to last as long as DeWeese and Rapp's are. But DeWeese does get a nice little run into 3 there. He closes the gap a little bit back up on Sobczak.
And Sam Oliver got the wall coming off turn 2 the previous lap and made a really nice save. So Sam Oliver, last week's winner, has a bit of a moment. His first Darlington stripe of the race, but he remains in the 4th position and a threat to win again.
Yes, your winner last week is running in 4th at the moment. Yeah, the field's pretty much single file. We do have a couple passes in the back, but that looks to be sorted out. So we're gonna
Jeff Taylor got passed by a couple cars. He had a really bad run off turn 2 and nearly spun it around, and Patrick Colby had to tiptoe his way around him, and that also allowed Chase Berry to pass them both.
Yeah, and as you said a couple laps ago, Oliver got a little brush with the wall. Now that after that, he's fallen to about 2 seconds back from the leader. So the top 3 have put a pretty good gap on the rest of the field here early on in the race. We'll see how long they can keep it up, but the top 3 are basically just riding along with each other at the moment as well. So they're keeping the speed and keeping each other in sights, in their sights.
And meanwhile, up front, Scotty Sobczak has opened up a bit of a gap over Braxton Deweese, just over 0.3 of a second. But as you said, Deweese is keeping him within his sights. And, of course, they're driving the 1987 NASCAR Winston Cup Series cars, and tires are extremely important, a very difficult car to drive. You're at Darlington, so not only do you have a difficult car, you also have to manage your tires.
Yeah, and you can see Sobczak got a little loose there in the middle of 1 and 2. But he's able to maintain the momentum and continue leading here.
And Johnny Rapp has also closed in on the top 2, so we could see some momentum shifts here in just a few moments.
Yeah, these your top 4 on the track are your top 4 in points. So they're all going to want to stay near each other to maximize points gains and minimize point losses. As Sobczak had to get out of the throttle coming out of 2, and he's going to give up the lead to Deweese. It looks like going down the backstretch. He's going to fight back on the inside of 3 and 4, but Deweese is probably going to have the momentum coming off 4 and take the lead back here. Down the front stretch, he does lead at the line. New leader, the 15 of Braxton Deweese, comes back to the front.
And also, during that lead change, James Ledford had to get out of the throttle, and he got a little loose and smacked the outside wall and lost 2 positions. But up front, Deweese is back in the lead.
It's a pretty calm race out there right now. Obviously, we just had to change the lead, but...
And Matt Sheriff just got the wall pretty hard coming off turn 4. He's currently scored an 8th, but that was a pretty decent-sized hit that he just had. We'll see if that impacts the aerodynamics and that number 45 Canadian tire machine going forward.
Oh, the 45? That's Al Corey.
Ah, my mistake.
Oh, and he's gonna lose a spot here to Ellis Thomas going into 3. And James Suggs was looking to follow him, but isn't able to make the move.
Whoa, and Thomas got really loose coming out.
He did a good job keeping it under him, though, and he didn't lose a spot out of it either.
So I got mixed up between the 45 and the 43, but it happens.
Yeah, these 3 are all over each other. This is trying to pull away. Oh, the 45 gets to the wall again, going into 3. Looks like just another Darlington stripe. He able to hang on to the position. Suggs does get a run out of 4. We'll see if he takes a look into 1 and 2 here. And he's going to stay riding behind him.
So the top 3 cars, you can put them under a blanket. They're within 0.4 of a second. However, Sam Oliver, who is running in 4th, is back 3.5 seconds from the top three.
And Suggs does make the pass on Al Corey for 6th down the backstretch. So move Suggs up to 6th, and Ellis Thomas is pulled away a little bit from those guys. We'll see if Thomas can run down Sam Oliver for 4th.
And Scotty Sobczak nearly got the outside retaining wall coming off 2, but he was able to move his wheel to the left just in the nick of time. Otherwise, that would have been a hard hit.
Yeah, your top 3 are still all nose to tail here for the most part as we cross the line for lap 16 of 147.
And we do have a battle on the racetrack for, it appears, the 12th position. Eric Kalaga and Ben Keese are battling for that spot. Mid-pack, but they've been trading back and forth.
Yeah, Kalaga had that incident at the start of the race where it looked like he spun his tires, and as you can see, he's got some right front fender damage. But he's recovered a bit from that. He's still in the lead lap, and it looks like he's trying to pass Ben Keese for 12th here. And it looks like he's going to go. It
seems like these drivers are just taking it easy right now, Tony. No need to push it so early in the race, and no need to kill your tires so early.
Yes, this is a 200-mile race, so there's still 31 laps to go here, so plenty of time to try to make up spots and everything throughout the race. There's no need to wreck your car this early because it's going to be a long night.
Oh, and Ben Keese just smacked the wall really hard. Coming off 2, he was battling Eric Kalaga. Kalaga had the inside. Ben Keese didn't want to give up the position and didn't lift, and unfortunately he paid a heavy price in the 85, and he gets loose again and nearly goes around.
He's been able to keep it straight though since that happened, so he's doing a good job with that, and he's still powering through. We're staying green, and we have another pass up toward the front. James Suggs just passed Ellis Thomas for 5th, so Suggs is moving forward.
And another driver moving forward is Johnny Rapp as he makes a move on the inside of Scotty Sobczak. And so Johnny Rapp moves to the 2nd position as he tries to track down the leader, Braxton Deweese.
Who has gapped about 8/10 over Johnny Rapp now as Rapp and Sobczak battle for 2nd. So Deweese has the biggest lead so far of the race, coming to lap 20 here.
And after hitting the wall earlier in the race, James Ledford is currently 14 seconds back, currently running in the 11th position. He's definitely one of the dark horses in this series, Tony, but after hitting the wall pretty hard early on, what do you think is going through Ledford's mind as he strolls around the racetrack?
He's probably just hoping to ride it out and try to stay in the lead lap until a caution or pit stop. He just wants to get that car.
Scotty Sobczak smacks the wall.
Yeah, he lost a lot of time after Rapp passed him, so he looks like he's been fighting. His tires might have went away on him, and as you said, yeah, he just bounced off the wall pretty hard. There's a lot of paint scraped up on the right side there as well since that hit, so he looks like he's really struggling now, and his tires probably went away on him for how hard he's probably been running here at the start of the race.
As you mentioned, it looked like maybe he was pressing a little bit too hard early on, and his tires just went away, overdrove the corner, and lost all grip and just pounded that wall. But he's still in 3rd. Still a long way to go in this race.
Yeah, and Sam Oliver is about half a straightaway behind him, and it looks like he's still kind of struggling through the corners here as he is trying to also get around a lapper. But up front, it looks like Johnny Rapp is ever so slowly reeling back in Braxton Deweese. He's cut off half a tenth in the last couple laps here. Yeah, Braxton Deweese continues to lead here as we come to lap 23 of 147, and we have 14 cars still in the lead lap out of the 16 starters.
And Jeff Taylor nearly spun out early in the race, and he is caught up to the 85 of Ben Keith. They nearly make contact going into turn 3. I think Ben was trying to let Taylor go, and Taylor kind of noticed it late, nearly got in the back of him. They make contact coming out the corner.
They keep it straight, though, but this is in front of the leaders, so they're going to want to try to get this sorted out before the leaders catch him. They do, as Taylor takes the position going into turn 1. And
I don't know what it is, Tony, but it just seems like drivers just love to run into Ben Keith when he's on the outside of it.
Yeah, he's had some unfortunate luck here the past few races. Hopefully the leader can get by him once he catches him, which last night, unfortunately for him, he did not have such great luck coming up on the first lap of the race in the late model race he ran last night, where he got involved in an incident. So he's hoping to not have that repeat here tonight, as he's got 2 cars to go around. He does make it around Keast with ease, and now he's trying to get around Jeff Taylor here at the exit of 2 as he tries to go down to the inside. He does get by him cleanly, but it did hold him up, as Johnny Rapp is now 0.3 of a second behind, and he's going to get by Taylor a little bit smoother, it looks like. Maybe not, as Taylor does hold him up a little bit as well, but he does get by him exiting 4, and now the lead is only 0.4 between Braxton Doise and Johnny Rapp as they go into turn 1. But yeah, so... Oh, and Taylor hits the wall exiting 2 there.
He also hit the wall the previous lap. He is definitely struggling, and here comes Ben Keith. They made contact a few laps ago. Will we see revenge here?
I don't think so. I think they both realized it was a racing deal, and yeah, Keith tries to give him as much room as possible exiting 4. But yeah, as I was saying, the leaders probably would have liked to have that a little smoother in their passing of those lappers, but neither of them made any contact or anything, so I'm sure they're going to take that and be happy with how they got by him. And they have quite a big gap over 3rd place of Scotty Sobczak, who's still in 3rd, but he's 3 3/4 of a second behind the leader. So the top 2 have really gapped the field here as we are coming to lap 28. And we are about
while we were talking the previous lap, Chase Berry nearly went around coming off turn 4, and he nearly gets the wall again.
I don't know.
He's definitely fighting an evil race car.
Oh, he does hit it there. He does hit it at the exit of 4, but he just a little brush, and he keeps going.
And that's what Darlington does to you. Overdrive the corner, and you might be able to flirt with the lady in black, but if you push a little bit too far, you're gonna get smashed.
And Sam Oliver has caught Scotty Sobczak, so Oliver's looking to pass him for 3rd here. Oliver is currently 2nd in the points, and Sobczak is 3rd. And Sobczak is still loose.
Oh, sorry about that.
Sobczak got a little loose in the middle of the corner in front of Oliver. Oliver had to check up. We'll see if he makes the pass going into 3 here.
And as I was saying, Braxton Deweese has actually gapped Johnny Rapp a little bit from 0.3 of a second up to 6. It's still a long way to go, as we're about to complete 30 laps in this race.
Yeah, Oliver keeps looking for the right moment to make a move on Sobczak. Sobczak is still struggling with his handling in the corners, as it looks like he's getting pretty loose out there.
And Sam Oliver was back 3 seconds from Scotty Sobczak earlier in this race, but as you can see, the damage that Sobczak has sustained has allowed Oliver to get right up to the back bumper, as Sobczak continues to struggle with the handling of that race car. And here comes Oliver on the inside, and he will take that position with ease. So move Sam Oliver to the 3rd spot. Sobczak back to 4th.
Yeah, Sobczak is most likely hoping for a caution here, or just to hang on to it until they get to the first set of pit stops. And they do have 3 sets of tires in the pits again. So we'll see if Sobczak tries to split this race into thirds or even quarters here if the tires get too bad for him. Because, yeah, he's definitely having handling issues out there at the moment.
Some fans are probably thinking, why not just spin out and cause a yellow? Well, the problem is we have race control, and when you're deemed the cause of the caution, you get sent to the end of the longest line. So I don't think that's what Scotty Sobczak wants. I think he wants someone else to bring out the caution, as he has gone from being close to the leaders to being back 7 seconds. And if this race continues to go green, Ellis Thomas will soon be close to Sobczak, as he is about a second, about 1.2, about 1.5 seconds behind Sobczak as we speak.
And out front, Deweese is still gapping the field, as he's almost about a second ahead of Johnny Rapp here as we're coming down the backstretch on lap 33. So we're a little over a third of the way, a little over a third of the way through a fuel run, as it's about 70 to 75 laps is what they can go on fuel. So
And Jeff Taylor had another moment coming up too, as he got loose and had to get out of the way of the faster car of Ellis Thomas. Taylor's currently scored the first car a lap down. The caution comes out, he will be the lucky dog. But right now, that outside wall has been more lucky than him so far.
yeah, I think he's been struggling with handling this whole race as well, unfortunately, and I think he's just trying to ride it out and get the best finish he can, and possibly hope for some cautions to fall his way. As you can see towards the back there, we got some lap traffic holding up Chase Berry as Chase tries to navigate it, and he gets loose in the middle of 3 and 4 there a little bit. He gets to the bottom, and he's trying to make this pass on Al Corey, but he gets loose on the exit as well, so that hurt his momentum. And this is a battle for 8th. Al Corey is in 8th, and Chase Berry in 9th.
You got to give Chase Berry a lot of credit. He nearly spun out about 10 laps ago, and here he is, still putting the pedal to the metal.
And he's on the inside of Corey down the backstretch as well. He's going to look to, he does take this position going into turn 3. We'll see if Corey tries to take it back on the exit. He gets a big run through the center there, but looks like Chase Berry is going to hang on to it. And Matt Scherf also comes into the picture. So we'll see if Matt Scherf can make a pass on Al Corey for 9th here as well.
And up front, Braxton Deweese has been very consistent over the course of this run as Brandon Waldrop moves out of the way.
But Johnny Rapp has cut that lead in half over the last few laps, so I'm not sure what happened, if Deweese is just slowing down or if there was some lap traffic involved, but it's only 4.5 tenths now over Johnny Rapp.
It's been going back and forth. It's been down to 4 tenths, up to 7 tenths, back down to 5. So it just seems like Braxton Deweese and Johnny Rapp are just trading spurts of momentum right now. Looks like Johnny Rapp had the edge the last lap. Once they hit the start-finish line here in a few moments, we'll see who had the better lap. I think Deweese gapped him significantly down the front stretch. And as we see, yep.
Yeah, he gained about a tenth and a half.
Deweese gained 2 tenths.
Yep. They are coming up on some more lap traffic, which they'll probably catch in the next lap or so. And it looks like that is going to be the 66 of Eric Kalaga, who is still on the lead lap, even though he's got all that damage and had that incident in lap 1. He is running 12th currently, the last car on the lead lap. We just had a change of position up here for 6th. Patrick Colby passed James Suggs. But Colby is moving forward late in the run, or halfway through the run here.
And I'm not sure what happened to Brandon Waldrop, but he is letting everyone by. But it's not like he's letting everyone by. He's also, it just looks like he's running under power right now, Tony. Any word on what happened to the 50 car?
I'm not sure, but he does look to have some right side damage, so he might have bounced off. Yeah, he probably bounced off the wall a couple times. It might have broken some suspension, unfortunately for him. He might be having some steering issues in the right front, so that's definitely going to slow you down, as he does try to stay lower in the corners, but it looks like it's just a big struggle out there for him tonight, unfortunately, as we're only on lap 40 here, and he is 2 laps down.
And While Chase Berry was trying to get around the 45 of Al Corey, he got loose on the inside and had another moment off turn 4.
Oh, he's getting
Nearly
loose
got
again
into
here.
Corey.
He had to save it down the backstretch. Good save by Chase Berry, but yeah, he's definitely getting loose, as you said. He drifted exiting turn 2 there, and right in front of him, Scherf bounces off the wall. Little Darlington stripe himself, but he doesn't lose too much ground on Corey right in front of him as these two continue to battle here for 8th place. They also have to try to navigate around the 11 car of Jeff Taylor here. Corey gets
This
really
could
close.
get interesting. Let's see what happens in turn 3.
It looks like Taylor's going to try to stay up high for them. Oh, and Corey does get around him. Scherf had to back off, but he gets underneath him exiting 4 here. That does open a little bit of a gap for Corey over Scherf.
And now Braxton DeWeese has opened up a 1.4 second lead over Johnny Rapp. So clearly over the second half of this run, Braxton DeWeese is getting the better of Rapp. But there's still over 100 laps to go here at Darlington.
And they have about 30 laps of fuel left as well, and DeWeese is catching some heavier lap traffic yet again. He just got around the 66 of Pulaga. Wall drip drops to the bottom for him. And there's another car coming up. I believe James Ledford is the next car. About a quarter, or no, that's actually Ben Keast right in front of him. So Keast is going to be looking to get put on second lap down here on the front stretch as DeWeese goes to the inside, and we are on lap 44 of 147.
And Jeff Taylor is hitting pit road. He's currently scored 2 laps down. It's Ben Keast. Had a moment on the outside. Not sure what happened there. Perhaps he was trying to get out of the way. Let's see what happens.
He catches the wall and he just stays up there out of the way so that the cars can get by, and he keeps it going, and it just looks like he's just going to add a little bit of damage to that right side there. It's like James Ledford just passed Chase Berry.
To close in a little bit.
Yep, Chase Berry is also on pit road. So we have a second car on pit road, your first car on the lead lap coming down pit road. We'll see if that affects pit strategy for anyone, as Luis is a second and a half ahead of Johnny Rapp here coming out of turn 2.
What do you think of the racing so far, Tony? Are you surprised that we haven't had a caution yet?
With a couple of the incidents, I am surprised that they were able to keep it straight and keep it going, but I am glad they hit it because it kept everyone. It means everyone's still in the race. But no, for the most part, it looks like everyone's been taking it pretty easy as well, which I believe they would do here, at least in the early part of the race. But yeah, everyone's keeping it pretty good. Obviously, you're going to get your Darlington stripes out, as you've seen quite a few cars do. But everyone's been doing a good job staying off of each other as well. And back in fourth place.
I definitely agree with you on that.
And back in fourth place is still Scotty Sobczak. He lost that spot to Sam Oliver, but no, and just I was gonna say he's been hanging on to it, but Ellis Thomas has caught up to him as we go to him, and Ellis is gonna look to the inside down the front stretch going into 1. So Ellis is gonna pass Sobczak for 4th, and they are not too far behind Oliver, and they have Keast that they have to get around, and they do get around Keast pretty well.
And not so much. Keast got the wall and moved down to the racetrack, and Sobczak had to take evasive action, so that was close there. But, and Sobczak smacks the wall hard again, going into 3. Jeff Taylor gets around him.
Taylor is on fresh tires as well.
The wall.
Yeah, and Taylor is also on fresh tires, so he's a couple laps down, but he does have about 40 lap newer tires than these guys, so he's gonna be trying to get around these guys, but also not affect their race. It does look like Ellis is gonna let him by, and we'll see how. Oh, he clipped the apron a little bit though and got loose. Chase Berry also on new tires is coming up and trying to get around these guys, as you see, almost gets in the back of Sobczak. But this is slowing down both Thomas and Sobczak, who had caught Oliver. Oliver's gapped them a little bit again, but now he's going to have to deal with these lappers get on fresh tires getting around him.
And given that these lappers are on new tires, what are the pros and cons to pitting early here at Darlington, Tony?
Grip is the biggest pro, and you can make up a lot of time. You also can force everyone else to change their strategy if you're in a position to do so. I believe Taylor was already a lap down when he pit though, but Barry was in the top 10 if I remember correctly. So that might change somebody's strategy, but I don't know. Deweese has just been so smooth and so consistent, and he's got to still has a second and a half gap. I don't think much is really going to change his plans throughout the race here unless we get a caution, as Oliver is trying to deal with Chase Berry getting by him, and it's getting a lot smoother. It's a lot smoother than what Berry had to go through with Thomas and Sobzak. So Oliver is not going to lose as much ground. He's got about 0.6 of a second over Thomas, and then about a 0.6 more is Sobzak here. So this is 3rd through 5th, and your top two have 8-second gap over these guys.
And if you're Chase Berry, you absolutely do not want to see a caution here, because that would be completely counterintuitive to your plan. He's currently scored 2 laps down, so he wants to see this race go green for a bit. If a caution does come out, he would hope that he would at least gain, at least a lap back, if not all of them.
Yeah, he wants the pits to at least cycle through before a caution, because either he'll have to pit and use up another set of tires and stay laps down, or he'll have to stay out and be on older tires while getting caught back up lap-wise, and that's just going to make things more difficult throughout the rest of the run. But it looks like
Ellis Thomas has a moment coming off too, and he nearly goes around. He saves it. Scotty Sobzak's going to pass him. Oh, wow, what a save by the 8th.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's got any damage. It doesn't look like he hit anything. He did not hit the inside wall. He did keep it off that, but he's got Patrick Colby all over him now. He did, as he said, he lost that spot to Sobzak, and Colby's looking to take 5th away from him as well here.
And while we were talking, Matt Sheriff was able to pit for 4 tires and fuel. He's back onto the racetrack.
Yeah, we've had 4 people on pit road in the last 10 laps.
And James Suggs is also the next to bite the bullet. He pits from the 8th position.
As your highest runner who has come down pit road.
Oh, and Eric Kalaga, he's gonna go around, and he's gonna hit the inside wall coming off 4. Will the caution come out?
Doesn't look to yet, but he is at the entrance of pit road, isn't he? Or is he? No, he's past pit entry. So
he's past the entrance,
yeah,
but he's
trying to get. Yeah, he's trying to get turned around on the apron there, and he does. So the green will stay out here. We are still under green. Unfortunate for him, because he had just pit about 5 laps ago. So I'm sure that the fresh tires they were cold, plus the hot track. He was very slick. I'm sure. Yeah, he just got loose and spun out there, unfortunately. Up front, though, Deweese continues to lead. He's got 1.2 second gap over Johnny Rapp. The top 8 cars have not pit yet.
And Ellis Thomas hit the wall as he was trying to analyze whether he could make a move around Patrick Colby and Scotty Sobzak.
As Colby looks to take 4th place away from Sobzak, and he's going to, and Thomas is going to follow him through, so drop Sobzak from 4th to 6th in that sequence.
It appears Thomas has recovered from his scary moment a few laps ago.
Yeah, I'm sure his tires are none too happy, though.
Yeah, more than likely.
He's looking to get a pit stop in as soon as he can as well, but I'm sure he's got a strategy he's trying to stick to as well. He wants to probably run as long as he can before he pits. But Patrick Colby, who Sobzak just bounced off the wall really hard there in 3. But as I was saying, Patrick Colby, who usually burns his tires up early in the run and ends up falling back, has done a good job of doing the reverse here tonight. He stayed around 6th, 7th, 10th place at the start of the run, and he's been slowly picking up spots as he's up to 4th place here, 57 laps in the race, as Thomas still continues to struggle on the exit of corners. getting really loose, exiting turn 2 there. He keeps it straight, though, down the backstretch, going into turn 3 here.
And it's honestly amazing that Scotty Sopsack is running as well as he is with the amount of damage that he has sustained in this race.
Yeah, that door is probably going to fall off once they get it back on the trailer here tonight after the race. But it's hanging on right now, and that's all you can ask for. As long as the door is still on there and he can still go forward at pretty much full speed, he's going to do that and just hopefully get these tires on as soon as he possibly can. I know he's probably the first one or the guy who really wants the tires the most here. As you can see, he's still drifting through the corners a little bit. Thomas is slowly closing back in on Colby, though, here for 4th place. We'll see if he can catch him and make a move here the next few laps as he gets a big run through the middle of 1 and 2 there.
And the top 2 cars are within 1.2 seconds, but our 3rd place car, Sam Oliver, is back 12 seconds. And that just exemplifies how dominant Braxton Deweese has been in this race so far. He has essentially led since the drop of the green flag.
Oh, and Johnny Rapp too. He's stayed with him the entire run. He's just not been able to quite catch him and pass him, but he's been with him the entire race here. As we check a quick look at some info, and out of the 60 laps run, Deweese has led 51, about to be 52 laps. So he is by far has the most laps led here tonight.
And Scotty Sopsack is on pit road.
Coming down from 6th place, let's see. Oh, he does make it in his box. As you can see, he locked up there. He's definitely going to be happy coming off pit road, having more grip, and he's probably going to change his driving up here on this next run to hopefully save tires longer. Because
he also has to worry about hot track and over driving on cold tires.
Indeed.
There's a happy medium that comes with this racetrack.
Yeah, indeed. And as long as he can manage the first 5 laps or so, the tires should come up to temp, and he can go from there. But yeah, I'm sure he's more worried about saving the tires over the long run, as he does come off pit road in line with Deweese, but Deweese had the momentum obviously and put him a lap down. But coming through 3 and 4 with the fresh tires, Sobczak can just drive right around him and put himself back on the tail end of the lead lap. So he was able to get on and off pit road and keep his lap. He's 1 lap down. He was almost 2 laps down there. So he's only 1 lap down. He's going to have to try to get that back one more time. As you can see, there's some heavy traffic around the top 2 here. Scherf is trying to get a lap back the old-fashioned way as well, as he goes around on the outside in 3 and 4 of your leader. And Johnny Rapp has also had to deal with some fresh tires there back there, as you can see.
But Deweese didn't exactly let him go either. He fought that lap car of Sheriff until the very end.
Yeah, I don't know that was the best move, because that hurt his tires as a little bit more too. But yeah, he's got a bit of a gap, and he's definitely competitive, so he's probably wanting to try to lap the field as well. If based on how he's proven himself the last few weeks that we've been watching him, I'm sure he wants to try to lead every lap and put everyone a lap down. But he's definitely leading out there tonight, and he's got about a 1.5 seconds over Johnny Rapp again, as the lap traffic has affected the leaders a little bit over the last few laps here.
And Chase Berry will soon catch up to our leader. He's currently scored 2 laps down, but unless there's a caution, it seems highly likely that he will make his way around Deweese and put himself back just 1 lap down.
And with 65 laps complete, the top 6 have not pit, and Paul Thomas in 12th is also not pit. Otherwise, everyone has made a pit stop here tonight, their first pit stop. I'm sure these top 6 are trying to go to at least lap 73 or 4 so they can split this race in 2. Again, if you guys did not catch it earlier or have joined late, 70 to 75 laps is a fuel run, which is right around halfway. So they want to stretch this as long as they possibly can so they can be on pit road as little as possible. But yeah, Deweese has definitely been showing his strength all night tonight, yet again. He's shown...
And turn 4 has once again been the Achilles heel for Chase Berry. This time he nearly spun completely out. So that's definitely not going to help his case.
Oh, we got Deweese on pit road, as we also have a...
Matt Sheriff's in trouble.
Big hit in the wall right in front of the leader, Johnny Rapp, who takes the lead as Deweese goes down pit road. That could have been massive, a massive issue for Johnny Rapp here. And it also could have changed the complexion as the caution could have came out as Deweese was hitting pit road. But so your leader's on pit road, or Deweese, who was leading, is on pit road. Your new leader is Johnny Rapp. We got a lap led that time by for some bonus points, and we'll see if he stays out or it does stay out. He continues to run here as we are coming to lap 69 of 147.
And that happened when Al Corey got into the outside wall, and Matt Sheriff got into the corner hard, and he was unable to slow up, and unfortunately made heavy contact with the outside wall.
That is unfortunate for Sheriff, as he was trying to get some laps back after pitting a little earlier than everyone else. We currently only have 5 cars on the lead lap. Your first car 1 lap down is James Ledford in 6th in the 48 car.
And we have a new car joining the race. For some reason, Aaron Smith II has decided to join. However, he has scored 68 laps down. But on the bright side, Tony, he's going to have fresh tires.
I assume he will just run a lap or two to get a start counted, and then he'll probably pull off and head out and not disrupt anybody's race here tonight.
And I think that's exactly what he's doing. He's heading to pit road.
And Johnny Rabb looks to continue to stay out, and he is going to lead lap 70, crossing to lap 71. I believe he is going to try to make it to lap 75, lap 76 here, and guarantee that he can make it to the end of the race. And he usually does tend to save fuel pretty well and keep his tires on him while doing so also. So we'll see how long he stays out here, as still the top 6 cars have not pit yet.
Who's been the most impressive run of the day for you, Tony?
I would say both Deweese and Rapp, because they were able to keep that speed for the entire run, and they just left everybody in the dust and continue to do so, because Rapp still has a 9.3 second lead over Sam Oliver in second, who you just saw coming out of turn 2 as Rapp was entering turn 3. So he's got a full straightaway plus lead over second place at the moment. And he stays out
right
yet
now,
again.
we have 5 cars in the lead lap. Johnny Rabb with a 10.6 second lead over Sam Oliver, followed by Patrick Colby, Ellis Thomas, and Al Corey. Tony, of course, a long way to go, and this green flag pit cycle is just getting started. Braxton Deweese has led a majority of this race, but he's currently scored a lap down because he pit. We'll see how it all pans out. As Al Corey, speaking of him, he is hitting pit road right now.
Oh, Chase Berry got sideways there. We'll see.
Oh, and around goes
spins.
Chase Berry. He finally gets bit.
We'll see if that brings out a caution. It's staying green so far, and he's going to get it back going, and we continue to stay green. So no caution for Chase Berry's spin there in turn 4.
My goodness, Chase Berry had been flirting with turn 4 throughout this race, and finally, yes, turn 4 finally had enough, Tony.
Yeah, you could only flirt with disaster for so long. But it looks like, again, Rapp is staying out, and this is the magic lap where you can definitely make it here from here to the end. So we'll see if he comes down next time by or not.
So race control has set a precedent in this race, Tony. So single car spins are not going to do it. In order to get a caution in this race, there's going to have to be a significant hit to the wall or an imminent danger to the field.
It looks like Rapp is coming down pit road, and both spins have been down out of the racing groove as well. So I think that plays a factor. Is your leader does come down pit road, Johnny Rapp on lap 75 here, crossing over to 76. We'll see if Sam Oliver, your second place car, is also coming down pit road. But
James Ledford just hit the wall.
Yep, James Ledford and Ellis Thomas are both coming down as well. But Patrick Colby is going to stay out. He's not going to lead this lap, but he will take over the lead here as he passes Johnny Rapp on pit road, and we'll see if Patrick stays out one more lap again or if he comes down this time by.
And Scotty Sobczak got in the back of James Ledford, and so that there could be some significant damage, at least some nose damage to the number 81. And it just looked like James Ledford was a little slow down the backstretch and was weaving to the left and the right. It looked like from my angle that he was thinking about coming to the pits, but just wasn't in a good position. And Sobczak, unfortunately, just got in the back of him going into turn 3.
Yeah, sometimes it's unfortunate having different pace and not knowing what's exactly going to happen. Is Colby did stay out to lead that lap. He will probably, yep, it looks like he's going to pull over coming down to pit road this time by. And that will cycle everybody into pits. So Patrick Colby, the last car to pit here on this run. As you can see, those brake rotors are glowing as he slows down for pit road. He does make it onto pit road safely, and that will cycle back to the lead Braxton DeWeese once he gets by.
And speaking of DeWeese, Ben Keith's got into the outside wall, and Braxton DeWeese had to get far to the inside to get around the 85.
DeWeese is having to make his way through traffic as he does pass Colby, who is still in his stall there, and he's just bringing up the left side tires, so he's going to have about 10 more seconds before he can get back on the track and get up to speed. DeWeese has a 5-second gap over the new second place car of James Suggs, which this is the highest he has been running all night. That his earlier pit has cycled him forward, and it looks like Jeff Taylor got in the wall there as somebody was trying to go by. Scott Sobczak is also trying to get by him. Sobczak is currently in third, back up to third. So he's had a very eventful night.
Both Ben Keith and Jeff Taylor got in the wall, pretty much at the identical or nearly the same part of the racetrack. And Taylor's going to hit the wall again, and Johnny Rapp is going to have to get to the inside to get around. So Jeff Taylor is the right side of his car is not too happy. That number 11 Holly Farms car, that bacon is pretty well burnt right now.
Back up front, Braxton DeWeese has gained another 3/4 of a second now over James Suggs in second. As Suggs looks like he's dealing with some lap traffic. Looks like Al Corey in the 45 has some fresher tires than him and was passing him.
And Al Corey nearly got into the back of Ben Keith going into the corner, and Keith gets into the wall again. But everyone gets around him. Here's Scotty Sobczak. He's going to have to get to the inside of the 85 as well, and he will do so. But Johnny Rapp has gained some ground. He's now 8 seconds back of our leader, Braxton DeWeese. But of course, Johnny Rapp pitted a little sooner, so he is on fresher tires. That could make a significant difference if we have a long green flag run.
Yeah, Rapp has 16 lap fresher tires than Sobczak.
It's a little redundant to say long green flag run. This entire race has been run under green. But with fresh tires, it could make a difference. And Scotty Sobczak is going to get around James Suggs. So Sobczak has had an interesting race. He's gotten into the wall at least 4 times, but here he is running in second spot. But Johnny Rapp is breathing down his neck.
Yeah, Suggs just he's got even older tires than Sobzak, and he saw them coming up and just pulled out of the way to not hold them up. As Rapp goes to the inside of Sobzak into 3, makes the pass nice and clean, and now Rapp is your second place car, 6 seconds behind Braxton Deweese. So we'll see how long it takes for Rapp to close that gap, as Rapp has 8 lap newer tires than Deweese, but he has 5.5 seconds here to make up.
And for those of you who are just joining the race, Chase Berry and Matt Sheriff are done for the night. They're on lap 81, and you're watching the Evan Pienta Design Southern 200 from Darlington Raceway. Braxton Deweese started from the pole, and he has led much of this race. We are in the midst of a green flag cycle.
And while
has finished up, but Johnny Rapp is on fresher tires, and he has cut 3 seconds out of that lead. So we could have a new leader here momentarily.
While things have settled out a little bit, we will take a quick commercial break while we will be going side by side, so you can still see the action. We will come back and catch you guys up in just a minute.
And welcome back to the Evan Pienta Designs Southern 200 from Darlington Raceway. Before we go any further, we would just like to thank all of our partners that made Side by Side possible, and this is a gift to all the fans who have been supporting us throughout the last couple of seasons. Thank you so much. Braxton Deweese continues to lead. And that just goes to show you how important tires are here at Darlington, Tony. When we took our commercial break, Johnny Rapp was 5.5 seconds behind Braxton Deweese, and he was able to catch him and pass him for the lead in just over a minute and a half. And Tony, I was going through YouTube the other day, and I saw some clips of you racing here at Darlington. You know, from your experience, what are your thoughts on the track, and what is the most difficult part of racing here from your experience? While these are the 1987 cars, Tony, the track also had a repave in turn two a number of years ago. How much has that added some confusion into the equation? You have one part of the racetrack it feels one way, and then you go to turn two, and it's just completely different. And given how old Deweese's tires are, it's actually pretty commendable that he's only back 3.4 seconds. And this is for the fans. You guys love nailing the apex? Do you love energy drinks? Well, you're going to love Apex Energy, the premier sponsor of the Apex Energy Summer Throwback Series. If you'd like 10% off your order, go to apexenergy.com and type in the code Slingshot10. That is Slingshot10 for 10% off your next order. And as we go back to the front of the field, Johnny Rapp continues to lead. And in one more lap, we will have completed 100 laps, the century mark, as Johnny Rapp holds a 3.5-second lead over Braxton Deweese. And rounding out the top 7, since we only have 7 cars in the lead lap, we have Scotty Sobczak, James Suggs, Patrick Colby, Alice Thomas, and Sam Oliver. And Al Corey is our first car scored a lap down. And Tony, this is a long race, and I've noticed that, especially in these endurance races, sometimes your hands can get pretty sore depending on how you hold the wheel, how hard you grip it. What have you done in the past or used to mitigate that sort of pain? Like any type of driver gloves? And he's in the wall. And right now, he is really flirting with danger. And I was going to say he was on pit road once we cycled through. But he has currently scored a lap down, and we'll see how it goes for him. And going back up to the front, Braxton Deweese is still keeping Johnny Rapp within his sights. He's still back around 3.4 seconds. So Deweese has been pretty consistent so far. And so going back to Sobstack, the strategy is obviously he wants this race to go green. And once guys pit, gains enough ground, potentially gets the lead. Now he's going to be on really old tires compared to the rest of the field. And at that point, you think he's going to hope for a late caution and head back into pit road and get fresh tires. And while we were talking, James Suggs hit pit road, so he's on a similar strategy to Sobsack as he makes his way around our second place car of Braxton Deweese. And so he has about 4 seconds to get up to our leader in Johnny Rapp. And that would put Suggs a lap down, because right now he has scored 2 laps down. So unlike Sobsack, Suggs will have to make up 2 laps on the racetrack. And Sobsack is running the Kyle Larson line as he runs up on the 42 of Paul Thomas, and he wrecks him. And he's just sitting there, and he's getting underway, but as well as Sobsack. I mean, that's the second time he got in the back of James Ledford earlier in the race as well. So the front end of that number 81 has seen better days. but he also could be fuming, and he's not too far away from Sobczak. Thomas just crossed the start-finish line now, and Scotty Sobczak is coming off turn 4 as we speak. So we could have an interesting meeting between these two, but we will see. Absolutely. If Matt Kenseth tackles somebody, anything can happen. And while we were talking, Sam Oliver is back on the racetrack after pitting for 4 tires and fuel. Currently scored a lap down. What happened is the lap 11 car of Jeff Taylor ran up on Rapp and nearly put him in the wall. Rapp had to lift, otherwise they were both going to wreck. So that's what happened to that interval, and it was because of lap traffic. And also, while we were talking, Sam Oliver got a little bit too high in turn 4 and had a long brush with the outside wall. And Jeff Taylor just hit the wall. Comes down the racetrack and gathers it back up. And he will keep going. And also, Scotty Sobczak was able to get around Paul Thomas with no problem, so no harm, no foul. Obviously, Thomas would rather not be 4 laps down, but at least there was no revenge. And after that dance with lap traffic, Johnny Rapp has actually gained a little bit on the second place car of Braxton Deweese. That time he had a marginal gain, wasn't too significant. The gap remains at around 2.5 seconds. James Suggs just bounced off the wall, but he keeps going. He has currently scored a lap down. It's not the first car lap down, though, so a caution wouldn't necessarily put him back on the lead lap. He would have to hope that the top 4 pit, and he would have to stay out, take the wave around to get his lap back, which, you know, it pays some pros, but if the race continues to go green, it would certainly be a con as his tires continue to wear out. And in fact, both of them got a little tail happy coming off turn 4. So both of them got loose, and oh man, that was Thomas got a little close to the wall. He had to back out of the corner, and that's going to cost him some time. Don't remember if I said this, but I remember James Suggs was down 2 laps to our leader, Johnny Rapp, but right now he has scored a lap down, so obviously he has unlapped himself as Thomas gets the outside wall. And that didn't really cost him any time as Colby also got loose off the corner, so it remains about the same as they go into turn 3. Thomas gets a good run coming out of the corner, but Colby is going to hold on to the spot for now. And once again up front, Johnny Rapp is trying to get around the 11 of Jeff Taylor, and Taylor is still fighting back on the high side. Oh my goodness. And Rapp is able to make the pass, and now Taylor is scored 5 laps down, but and it looks like that was just a little bit of a brush. We'll see once they hit the start-finish line how much time he lost. He was back 1.2 seconds, and as he crosses the start-finish line, 1.4. So not a huge loss, surprisingly. And Ellis Thomas is closing in ever so more on that 9 of Patrick Colby, but it's not getting to him that's been the problem. It's been getting around him. And he thought about looking for the pass there and decided otherwise. He was faster, but I don't feel like Colby was just going to let him go by. So Thomas will have to set him up again. They come down the back straightaway. James Ledford is struggling behind the wheel of that number 48. And he got super close to the wall, and Ben Keese had to check up to avoid making contact. As they go into turn 1, Ledford has currently scored 2 laps back in the 9th position. Man, he's really loose, and Ben Keese is going to get around him. That is not for position. Ben Keese has currently scored 11 laps down in 14th. And Johnny Rapp has run into more lap traffic. He gets around James Ledford, and now Eric Kalaga will be the next victim. Kalaga started off the race on a bad note, spun the tires on the initial start, and has been playing catch-up ever since. And as he nearly nips the wall coming off turn 2, and Johnny Rapp is going to move around him on the outside.
How do we get these one-of-a-kind amazing trophies? Well, we were fortunate to find UD Awards when we started our league. We reached out and we connected with Christopher, and we got started designing these one-of-a-kind works of art. The process was easy from start to finish. After just a few revisions, we finalized each one of them, and the team at UD got to work building each trophy from scratch. They're a small team, but they've got the ability to do just about anything your brain can imagine. And don't worry, if you're not an artist, they've got an entire catalog of unique trophies in pretty much any material you can imagine. Wood, acrylic, glass, and in the case of last season's trophy, metal. The best part, they're affordable. If you're looking for a trophy for your event or league, the choice is simple. UD Awards can give you exactly what you want.
Are you looking for high-quality, affordable sim racing paint schemes and graphics? Then look no further than Evan at Evan Pienta Designs. Driven by speed, Evan Pienta Designs offers a multitude of sim racing graphics, from liveries to social media graphics to team and series logos. To see some of the work done by Evan, or even race one of the public liveries he's made, head on over to tradingpaints.com and search Evan Pienta.
And we are back, and I am sorry about that. I knew I was going to make that mistake once tonight. We do have my audio back. Sorry about that. As you can still see, we are 10 to go, and Ellis Thomas is still trying to get around Patrick Colby here for third. And Johnny Rapp has extended his lead back out to 3 seconds over DeLuise in second, as we continue to stay green here tonight. Oh,
Are you surprised we haven't seen a caution yet, Tony?
Yeah, I am, especially with that Scott Sodzak and Paul Thomas incident. I thought race control would at least throw that because of how hard that hit was and how long it took Thomas to get back going. But again, that was off the track and out of the way, so I can see why he let it go. But yeah, other than that, everyone had got spread out, and there's really not been too much battling since just before the green flag pit stops occurred, and ever since then they just got a little more spread out. Other than this battle for third, which Patrick Colby has done a really good job here hanging on to it, defending this spot from Ellis Thomas, who has tried everything he could other than giving him a little bit of a tap to get that spot back. But Thomas has been pushing so hard. He's gotten loose a couple times, brushed the wall a couple times, but he's battled back each time he's made a mistake, and he's right there just a couple car lengths behind Colby.
Do you think Ellis is willing to use the bumper, and have you seen him use the bumper in the... Colby gets
He's not going to have a choice in that matter.
He's going to get the wall, and Thomas is going to get around him, but never mind. We won't have to see the bumper be used because Colby made a mistake.
But Colby did a great job there, keeping that as straight as he could, even with how loose he got. And he did bounce off the wall a little bit, but again, he kept it straight and he kept it out of the way. Thomas was able to get by him, no issues. And Colby is able to hang on to fourth here. He's not going to lose a spot to Suggs, who is... Oh, no, sorry. Colby is the last car of the lead lap, so he's not going to have to worry about that anyway. But he does want to try to get back up to Thomas to take that spot back, which he might be able to because he's, again, he didn't lose too much ground there, and we still have 6 laps to go. We will take a quick look up front, though. Johnny Rapp has a 3.1 second lead over Braxton DeWeese. He just had to deal with some lap traffic here over the last handful of laps as we were watching that battle, so not much to report on other than he is continuing to lead here. As you can see how red his rotors are going through 3 and 4 there. DeWeese is still maintaining second place. He's staying within striking distance if Rapp has an issue or lap cars do come into play. But back here, Patrick Colby and Ellis Thomas are really your only close battle on the track at the moment. And this is the battle for third, as it looks like Colby got loose exiting 4. That may hurt him and cost him a chance of catching Thomas back up. But Thomas, oh, Colby sends it in real deep though, going into 1. And he does get a nice run down out of the center of the corner. Oh, but he's pushing so hard, you can see he drifted exiting 2. He, as I said, he really wants to get that spot back here, as Thomas is trying to run smoother and do what Colby did over this past 20-25 laps, where he just defends it, which Colby was doing a great job of until he got loose and bounced off the wall, and Thomas was right there to take advantage of it.
Let's also give credit to Ben Case. He has scored 12 laps down. However, a few laps ago, he was running laps that were actually faster than our current leader in Johnny Rapp. He has fallen off since, but I think Ben has to be proud of himself for running a couple of good laps there.
Yeah, and he's doing what he's been set to do this season, because this is his rookie season, and I believe he's relatively new to iRacing, so he's just been trying to get laps in and try to prove to everyone that he's a nice, clean driver. And he's been pretty clean and trying to stay out of the way. He's had a few incidents where just speed difference and unfortunate timing has caused some issues. Nothing really to put blame on him other than just racing deals. As you could see, James Suggs, who was a lap down, did make a pass on Colby, which cost Colby quite a bit of time and speed. And it looks like Thomas is going to hang on to third here as we are 2 laps to go. Johnny Rapp, your leader, has a 5-second lead once again. So he's pulled away from Braxton DeWeese once again in the last few laps. He is coming through 3 and 4 to take the white flag here. Exiting 4, coming down the front stretch, and we have 1 lap to go. So we are going to go green from start to finish here tonight at Darlington, 200 miles. Can Johnny Rapp hang on to win this race without making a mistake or having an incident in front of him? But he has a clean track in front of him. He did get a little loose there coming out of 2. No pressure, Johnny. You got this if you just hang on to it. Looks like he will hang on to it.
As Rapp rolls through turns 3 and 4 for the final time, this baby is wrapped up. Johnny Rapp rolls off turn number 4 and will win the Evan Pienta Designs Southern 200 here at Darlington Raceway. What a performance by Johnny Rapp, and it is his first win of the Apex Energy Summer Throwback Series season. Braxton DeWeese comes home 2nd, Ellis Thomas comes home 3rd, Patrick Colby 4th, and Scotty Sobczak will come home in 5th, and that is our top 5. Only 4 cars finish on the lead lap. No cautions. What a race.
And we had 14 of the 17 starters running at the end of the race. So we only had 3 cars not finish. That's pretty good, especially with the green to flag race. Again, Johnny was able to make his strategy work, and he definitely earned it out there tonight. His car is probably the cleanest car out there as he's doing his victory celebration. We will get your top 3 up in the booth for interviews here momentarily. How? Tell me what you thought of the race as we get the interviews set up here momentarily.
Oh, I thought it was a great race. I'm just surprised we didn't have a caution. But, I knew we were going to have a lot of green flag runs, but I was expecting to have at least one, maybe two cautions early on before the race went green. But this race certainly exceeded my expectations. My question for you is, do you think Braxton DeWeese is hitting himself for, pitting a little bit too soon on that green flag run?
Possibly, probably because of how that did end up being the deciding factor, but we can get a word from him momentarily. But first, we will take third place finisher Ellis Thomas. Hold on. The Discord moved on me as I was about to drag him in. Ellis Thomas, you're in the booth. You got a copy.
I have a cop.
All right,
What's
so
up, guys?
Well, we're
And
just
Ellis, congratulations on your third place run. You ran a really consistent race for the most part. You had a few, scary incidents, but you were able to overcome that and get a bronze medal essentially here at one of the toughest racetracks. Tell us about your day and how it was racing out there.
And well, first of all, it was a long race. It is a 200 miler. It's one of our longest races of the season. Congrats to Johnny on his win. But for me, somehow it's one of my better tracks. I don't know how. I don't know what about it works for me. But I knew that I didn't have anything for Johnny or Braxton most of the night. But just taking care of my tires, that was the biggest thing. I scratched the wall a couple times with these cars. They can take it, and I just kept on chugging along in the Apex Energy Thunderbird, and it was consistency. That's what I was trying to work on all night. That last 30 laps or so, Patrick Colby, the 9 and I were battling back and forth. That was fun, and it was just an awesome race. So felt good.
On that note, I got a quick question. Did you think you were going to be able to make that move on Patrick if he didn't make that mistake, or were you content just letting him or finishing fourth because you weren't going to give him the bumper, were you?
No, certainly not here. Like here, that's one of the things that apparently all of our drivers did amazingly. Y'all had a better view of it than I did tonight, but this is a track where there's only a couple places to pass safely. And I knew that my one shot would be, probably I was better than him in 3 and 4. I think I was a little bit better maybe on the exit of 2, but 3 and 4 is where I could really get some speed. So I knew my goal was, I started running higher to get a run off and set him up for the pass down the front straightaway. You get the run off 4, you can show your nose and try to make that pass head into 1. Dangerous, but it's hard to pass here. So I wouldn't have put the bumper to him, but I just kind of was waiting for a mistake. I didn't know if I'd get one or not. I figured I would be the one who made it, but I got lucky in that sense.
And how hard was it to manage your tires throughout this race? We saw, obviously, when we come to Darlington, we expect to see a lot of Darlington stripes, but we saw a lot of very interesting moments. In fact, we saw a number of wrecks that, and we ended up not having a yellow for it. How hard was it to maintain control tonight?
It was hard. I had a couple scary moments. The longer the run went on, Tony told me in the pre-race, like it's going to get hotter and slicker, and it did. And that car just got looser and looser. And halfway through a run, I'd start hitting the same braking points, but the car would start sliding a good bit more. So that's that's where I needed to be careful. And I think that's where Patrick kind of made his mistake, as he slid just a little bit too fast into 1, got up into the wall, and that's how I was able to make that pass. So it was difficult, but it was fun. These cars are a blast.
Absolutely. So who do you have to shout out here tonight?
Well, always my wife for allowing me to race. Chris is out of town right now for a teacher conference, so we miss him. But all the sponsors for the part of Slingshot Racing, Apex Energy has been with us now for over a year. We've got UD Awards, Sim Racing Concepts, Sim Racing Tech. We've got UD Awards. I think I mentioned them. Evan Pienta Designs. So many people involved that make it possible. We're grateful for all those partners. We're grateful for you guys as well. And just thanks to all the drivers tonight who have put on a great show and a clean race for the most part.
Yeah, out of everyone who started the race, only 3 people did not finish. So that's also very impressive by everyone making it through the whole race there tonight.
Yeah, proud night as a league owner for me. So Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Yep. Congrats again on your third, and have a good one.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you next time.
Yes, sir.
That was your third place finisher, Ellis Thomas. We will talk to second place finisher, Braxton Deweese, here in just a moment. Braxton, you're in the booth. You got a copy.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I know it's not the finish you wanted after how you pretty much dominated that whole first run. Did you have to pit when you did, or did you think strategy was going to be a little different for everyone else? And is that really what ended up taking the win tonight?
Yeah, I just pitted way too early. I should have looked at my fuel and everything a little bit more. I was just pretty much being an idiot and trying to choose a strategy that wasn't there, and when there was something else there, and just me not paying attention as much as I should have been. So definitely threw it away. I felt like I would have had this race for sure if I would have pitted when I should have. But it is what it is.
Well, it also went green flag to flag. Was that something you were expecting too? Because that could have changed everything as well there after that first pit stop, you know? So were you surprised with it going green the whole way?
I mean, yeah, I was a little surprised with it going green, with how that run was going to begin with, and how we got that far. I was like, well, this is probably going to go, so I got a plan on it, but that plan was crappy. So gonna move on to Atlanta next week and try to improve the spot better. This is 2 weeks with second. I feel like I've thrown away like 3 or 4 of these races, so hopefully we can not throw one away and come home with the championship.
Was there anything you got for him, Ryan, before we let him shout everyone out?
Well, from what I understand, we only have one race left in the summer showdown. So, but this championship is literally coming down to the last race. What are your thoughts coming in? I mean, for the first half of the race, the top 4 in points, pretty much we're in front. What do you think is going to be the difference when we go to Atlanta? And what's your strategy going into that race?
I just feel like you got to hit your marks. You got to, have good qualifying, good race pace, and good short run, long run. You just got to be perfect with everything. Especially my position, I have to do everything perfect here so I can be comfortable and come on with the championship. So if I did the math right, I believe I should be like 2 or 3 points up. We were 2 points coming up, so my strategy is just to try to, kind of do what we did tonight, except, pit when we need to. I want to qualify on the pole, and I want to have the confidence of having the fastest car out there. So we're gonna see what we can do and go to Atlanta.
All right. Well, again, congrats on your second. Is there anyone you want to shout out and thank before you head out here? And we'll hopefully see you next week at Atlanta with possibly a championship.
Yeah, for sure. I want to thank Ben's Publico on the car. We've been up front with them a lot of the season with them on the car, and I'm glad I could give them the exposure that they deserve. Also want to give a big shout out to Allen's Arts Images, Blaze Designs, Unrivaled Cinematography, Martin Sports, Scott Martin at Jeff Schmidt Auto Group, Jane's on Main, Hayden's Race Day Replicas, the Premier Group, Elite Performance Industries. I've been working with them with the open setups and late model stocks, and on a good note, that's actually been going pretty well. So, I'm looking forward to that a little bit more, and gonna be running more of them, and gonna see what we can do with that. And I just want to appreciate everybody that tunes in and supports, watches every week. I gotta quit throwing these away for y'all and actually bring one home. So we'll try next week.
Well, the good news is you still have a really good shot at the title next week, as long as you can keep running as well as you have been. You probably going to be the favorite going into the last race. Again, congrats on your second, and we will hope to talk to you again next week. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, y'all as well.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you.
That was your second place finisher of Braxton Deweese. And now we are going to talk to your winner here tonight, Johnny Rapp. Johnny Rapp, you're in the booth. You got a copy.
Yes, sir. What's happening?
Well, you won. That's what happened. Congratulations, Johnny, on your first win of the summer showdown here at Darlington Raceway. Tell us about that last pit stop. Were you surprised that Braxton Deweese pitted so early? He admitted to us he felt like he threw the race away. What was it like from your perspective?
I agree with him. I mean, I didn't really have anything for him on that first long run, and then it seemed like he started slowing down a lot, and then he pitted, and what did I run, like 6 or 7 extra laps, maybe more than
About
that.
8, I think, was what it ended up being.
Yeah, I I knew that was too early, and he was going to have to save a bunch. I'm surprised he made it. I only had 4 laps left at the end there, so.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think he did also have to deal with a little bit more lap traffic, so I think you were able to catch him a lot faster as well after that pick cycle. But you, I believe, are the only one who did not get a Darlington stripe tonight, unless we missed it like in the first couple laps.
I barely got it going into, I think, into turn 1. It wasn't much.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, you were up front. You were in the top 3. You were one of the top 3 that broke away from the field early in the race. You were up there. Obviously, like you said, you didn't think you probably had the speed to beat Braxton if you guys were on the same tires, but you were with him the entire time. Were you surprised about being that fast tonight, and are you surprised that it went green the whole way?
Yeah, I'm surprised that I was able to not mess up on a long run like that, because I will lose focus like pretty easily. And I went into turn 3 one time, thinking it was turn 1, and somehow didn't hit the wall. Like, I didn't hit the brakes until I was already turning. I don't know,
That's
but
definitely not the quarter that you want to confuse with the other one at this track.
I did that.
And how hard is it to
on
remain
that race.
focused? How hard is it to remain focused at a track that is so unique like Darlington, and such a worn out surface, and uneven corners? How are you able to remain focused behind the wheel?
I I don't know. I mean, I kind of just got into autopilot there, uh, trying to just save my tires, because I figured if he saved enough gas, he probably saved tires too, and he's gonna make a run at me. But I don't know, when you do that, it's hard to stay focused. I mean, I guess that track kind of forces you to focus though, because if you miss a little bit, you're cooked. But
Well, I don't know if you're gonna quite. You did lead the most laps. You did I'll get a few about 4 more laps, I believe, than what Braxton led. So you did get the most bonus points for that. I don't know if you're gonna be the leader going into the final race next week, but what are you looking forward to next week? Do you think you're gonna be the one to beat next week and get this title, or how do you think it's gonna play out?
I we're gonna try. I don't know. It seems like I'm okay in these cars, so I might have a chance if I don't mess up and play the strategy right, But yeah, just being there is good enough for me. Have a chance at it and give everybody a run for their money.
Yeah, it's a good track to do it because I do believe it's the old Atlanta with these things, right? So you're gonna have a rough surface. Is there anyone you want to thank or shout out before you head out here tonight and celebrate your win?
Yeah, well, you guys for putting the show on here, and Ellis and Chris for running the league. Everybody out there, it was tough tonight with the lab cars. Like, they they were all very courteous, and it's hard to do at a track like that. So shout out to all those guys. My dad's watching. Shout out to him, and I think that's about it.
All right. Well,
And one last question for you, Johnny. Obviously, we have one more race left in this summer showdown, and pretty much the top 4 points are all under a blanket. And we're going to the old Atlanta. The surface is worn out. We're in the 1987 car, so a lot of unique angles to look at entering this race. But what's the strategy to survive at a track that essentially has no grip? It's kind of like Darlington with more speed.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be tires big time, like probably more than we've seen at any of the other tracks. I haven't ran any practice or anything there, but if I had to guess, you're going to have to really take care of your tires there.
All right, and well, again, congratulations on the win, and we will see you in Hampton, Georgia.
Sounds good.
Have a good one.
You too.
That was your winner here tonight, Johnny Rapp in the 52. Again, this is the top two are definitely going to be really tight because I believe Rapp and Deweese will be your top two. Sobzak did end up finishing 5th, so he's going to be in striking distance. Oliver does finish 7th, and he will have a shot, but he's going to have the longest odds here next week going into Atlanta. But again, yeah, it looks like it's probably going to be a 4-car battle for the championship. And tonight was green the whole way. How thoughts on the night and thoughts going into the championship week next week, Ryan?
Well, first and foremost, super excited for championship week. It's the best versus the best, and that's what, when we say that in boxing, it means we're going to get something very special, and I think we're going to see that next week. As far as the race is concerned, I love green flag racing, so just really happy we didn't have a caution. Surprised we didn't have a caution, but it was a phenomenal race all around, and super proud of everybody for having a mostly clean race, and just really impressed with what I saw out there. And congratulations to Johnny again.
All right. Well, I will catch you. We will next week in Atlanta. We will catch everyone who hopefully enjoyed the race tonight. They put on a great show for you. Hope to see you again next week for the championship battle between Johnny Rapp, Braxton Deweese, Scotty Sobzak, and Sam Oliver. We will catch you guys later. Have a good one, and peace.